Welcome back to Dinset's Techie Not Badass. I'm your humble yet arrogant host, Von Fry. We are going to watch the Kirby Air Rirders Direct 2 from a little over a week ago, from 10/23/2025. This was requested by Nukem Nintendo, who I don't think donated or anything because I'm not some scummy girl who licks microphones. We are watching this on the Switch 2. Whatever fidelity that is, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty good. Let's look at our setup, and I'm just going to kind of interject where need be, or react like the Fine Brothers would have you upset over using their lingo, right? I have this on my wish list, but I'm not really sure if I want to pull the trigger. I do want to play the demo first, really, before I decide much. But and the demo will probably get in the way of some of our upcoming Tears of the Kingdom stream, but we'll see. All right, here goes. I'm assuming everyone can hear me fine, and I'm gonna drink some Alani New. Gotta finish this at some point. And some M&Ms. All right, very Japanese. Oh, I have to read it. Hello, everyone. Picking up where we left off. Kurt here to share more about Kirby Air Rirders. With so much to cover, we're split into across two. And last one, I covered the game overview. Oh, shoot. I'm behind. It's already so much. Haven't you gone over pretty much everything, is what I was thinking. And you'd be right. But we still have an hour to talk about. Surely it's 1080p mobile. Top ride would be what? Top down what's this? Kirby Air Ride was a top-down perspective game? I never played it. So they brought that back. A mode called Top Ride, okay. It's going to be kind of like that Neo Geo rally game that's hard. マシンとライダーを個別に選ぶことができるんですね。他のモードでもそうです。そして、それらを選ぶと CP 選択になるんですが、ここで X ボタンを押すことによっていろいろな CP 設定が素早くできるようになっています。参加数とかあるいは CP レベル、これマックスでいっちゃいますけど。No, yeah, he's an expert. He's going to play against level 9. 個別に選ぶこともできます。ではこれでいってみましょう。 Am I wrong, or does he seem like he has like the ideal setup to begin with? Kirby with the warp star. I don't see much reason to play anything else. He's got a Pro 2 controller. こう気持ちよくドリフトを、クリッピングポイントを狙いながら進行するというのがいいですね。ところで前作から随分変わったなと思う人もいるかもしれないですが、これ自分の画面でスクロールをしてるんですね。一つ一つ画面を持てるから。でも一応こうやって。Well, yeah, it's better if the screen follows. お、これはまずいね。Now, when the screen's out like that, it looks like oh, that monster truck game from like 1990. If it's zoomed in, it looks like it's the rally game on the Neo Geo. サクッと遊べるウェアライド、スピーディーでいいですね。前回と今回の特に大きい違いは、内部的にはエアライドと同じシステムでできているということです。つまり簡単に言えば、全マシンとライダーで遊ぶことができます。 Can you online play the top mode?
前作は
Top
スティッ
ride?
クを倒した方向に進むフリースターと左右で向きを変えるハンドルスターという2種だけでした。今回はその選択はオプション的に選べるようにして全マシンとライダーが使えるようになります。
Oh, I'm so confused now.
変更はゲーム開始時かポーズメニュ
Is
ー
steer all weird? Steer controls or shoot in the direction you want to go. So you have some options to get you out of tank controls or
コースは本作エアライドのコースをモチーフにしています。
Man, I almost wish Mario Kart had a top ride. You almost have a top ride in Mario Kart. The original, you know how it had to do the split screen and show like the map at the top? Because they couldn't really do the whole game for the whole screen, but what is that, like Monster Truck Rally game or 4x4 from like the early 90s? It gives that kind of vibe out, but you're probably going to be able to control this a lot better. There's that grinding on the rails. Everybody's grinding these days, huh? I haven't seen kids grind on a rail in ages. I don't think kids can be bothered to actually skate or learn how to skateboard or learn how to do anything.
対戦において今回はそれぞれのスイッチ2で専用画面が持てますから画面がスクロール追従します。
Well, I sure hope so. That you watch your own screen.
コース全域を画面に入れることもできます。
I think I'd prefer to travel with it rather than the faraway
前
view.
作発売当時よりもテレビのサイズが上がっているので
TV screens have gotten bigger since what, 2003?
オンラインでは最大8人まで同時プレイできますが、だいたい推奨されるのは4人ぐらいですね。自由にしてもらえれば良いですけれども。
Up to 8 can be in a game, but I recommend 4. That's weird.
1台のスイッチ2と1つの画面では4人まで参加でき、CPU を4人加えることはできます。見下ろし画面なので 3D にで画面用意する方にもお勧めできます。
Players who have trouble with 3D action games. I'm not sure do those people exist? Like, aren't they dead? Weren't they gaming on like Galaxian and stuff? We're going through the power-ups here. Dirt flames. The worst kind of flame, man. That looked like a pile of poo, but it's a drill. Okay. Oh boy. Oh man, this is gonna get hectic. He's showing it all off on the top ride mode. Horse Quaker. Dead bird. The roadkill sends out more dead birds. Hmm.
なんとなくミニチュア風の画面加工もできます。
The developer of this is a YouTuber.
そしてオンライン対応。
Okay, hold on. I didn't understand that. Normal mode and diorama style.
3つのゲームともオンライン対応しているので、まあ大変だ。パッと遊ぶ軽めのゲームをお楽しみください。たまにはこういうゲームがあっても良いのではないかな。
It's okay to make a different mode every once in a while, right? Like that's such a weird Japanese way to phrase that. Do you guys mind if I pause this to say stuff?
だけどご安心ください。スイッチ2ではスイッチのコントローラーが使えます。プロコンはもちろんジョイコンも取り出して同期を取ればそのまま使うことができます。 またスイッチ2で使えるゲームキューブコントローラーがあります。
Oh, that's supposed to be paywalled to NSO. What are you doing? You can't be using that.
エアライドやシティトライアルでは2人画面なら縦横分割を選ぶ。
Oh, hey, is the trial are some of the demo trial dates gonna be top right only, and then some of them are gonna be like 3D?
エアライド、ウェライド、シティトライアル。
City trial. Hold on, what?
3つのモードを横断するゲームを用意しました。
Oh, you're gonna be like flying, airborne on City Trial, looks
ロ
like.
ードトリップと言います。
Road trip. Open world? Oh, wait, are we doing point-to-point racing like in Mario
好
Kart?
きなライダーを選んで
Knockout?
旅路へ。いくつかのステージが連なり、立ちはだかるお題をクリアし続けて進みます。
No, not quite the same thing.
レーンを左右に動き、好きなお題へ。モードをまたいださまざまなお題が出てきて戦います。3つのモードにおけるレースやバトルもありますが、スタジアム、チャレンジ、イベント系など多彩なお題が待っています。
It's almost like it's making the race an RPG. Is that a battle mode?
アクシデントに突っ込んだり、休憩所でパワーアップしたり、
Yeah, I may have to pause this to try to gather
マシ
thoughts.
ンに入手したりと、マシンは最優先で集めることを強くお勧めします。 詰まったら
I strongly
マシンを変える
recommend
ことで
you
進めるかも
collect
しれませんし、
machines. I would think so, right?
途中でシリーズゆかりのキャラクターを拾えるのですが、その助けによって次に分岐する
Hit
ス
him
テ
with
ー
the
ジに行き
sword.
ます。そして突如訪れる謎のエンカウンター。
Boss battles? But maybe it's as a race.
旅のきっかけはまた後ほど。
Road trip route characters. See, I'm not so sure I know what I'm looking at here. Like, is this like the next challenger screen in Street Fighter? Like, oh, now you're going up against this guy? The computer virus?
世界の人々と遊べるオンライン機能について簡単に説明します。まず何をするにしてもライセンスを作ります。
No, I don't want a license. That's going to show how much I
自分
suck.
自身を表す免許証。
Well, you
実
lose
際
all
の
the
免許証
time.
と異な
No,
り
don't show
好
my
きなように
record.
デコレーションできます。
Unlike an actual license, you can decorate it. True, you can't decorate your
素材
license
は
no matter how much
キ
you
ラキ
pay.
ラを入れたり、
No glitter. Oh
シールで
shoot.
自由に貼れたりして。 上の句
This is like a
下の句を組み
credit
合わせて
card more than a
料理名を作れま
license.
す。これらはいつでも作り変えることができます。
Oh man, that's gonna occupy some streamers' time right there, just decorating your
合流
license.
場所になるのがパドックです。いわゆる専用部屋。
The paddock
こうなります。
is the lobby.
楽しげですね。
Looks like they're having fun, but fun can be deceptive.
ライダー
They're
ごと
getting
に
ready to
一つ
crush
一つ
each
の
other's
公園ジャンプを
dreams.
作るのは手間がかかったけれど活かせてよかった。ビュッフェがあったり駐機場があったりしますけれど、ここではプレイヤーが集まり対戦のセッションを組んだり簡単なやり取りができます。
Hey, someone
誰かがレ
challenged
ースや
me.
セッションを立てたらそこに入っていく仕組みです。
Unfortunately, there's no communication on Nintendo, right? Like we can't have any PDF files
基本
talking
的
to
には L ス
kids,
ティック
right?
と R スティックに対応しています。 L スティックを傾けてカテゴリーを選び、 R
Where's
スティ
the
ックで
get
その
good
中から
button,
選ぶ。
right? Because you'd be hearing a lot of that if you could.
LR スティックの組み合わせでポーズを取るかのようにできるので慣れるととてもスピーディーです。
Voice
一
chat?
つの
Whoa,
パドックの
what?
中で複数のセッションが同時進行していることがあります。
You can invite people to voice chat finally? Did you guys see that? Oh, God. Oh, not good. Xbox. Hold on. Look, the buttons are backwards.
あらかじめ
Okay?
マシンとライダーを
I'm
決めておくと良い
trying.
です。
I am.
合流場所になるのがパドックです。いわゆる専用部屋。
Man, this really skips forward a bit too.
端末から状態が見られますので、好きなレース
All
に
right,
参
well,
加してください。
hold on. I don't know if we actually got to here. This is about right.
R スティックでその中から
Invite people to chat. That's what you're kind of missing from Mario
LR ス
Kart.
ティックの組み合わせでポーズを取るかのようにできるので、慣れるととてもスピーディーです。一つのパドックの中で複数のセッションが同時進行していることがあります。
What makes me angry about the voice chat on Nintendo is everybody can do it because everybody's device has the microphone. They can even use it when docked. But it's not really implemented, right? It's always cut off by the online system.
パドックの中で好きにしていて良いです。準備が整ったらお呼びがかかります。
What do you mean we're getting bricked with the voice chat feature?
ケーキの上に乗るのも自由。 流れる音楽を変えることもできます。
See, the voice chat could be phenomenal simply because everybody has access to it. When you're on Xbox, people don't necessarily have a headset. It was only in the early Xbox Live days when you were guaranteed to hear a full lobby in the Halo 2 game. Because in hell, the 360 came with a headset. Then they started shipping stuff without a headset, and now everybody's like, I'm only going to put the headset on to troll. So then you're like, okay, well, I'm just not even going to bother communicating with anybody. Never knowing if you just teabagged a hot chick or not. This looks fast. See, I think it's actually going to look better. I think they're showing a 1080p video here, and that this should look 1440 or 4K.
なお、ライセンスには世界勝利力という数値がついていますが、
Wind power. I never made a me. Is that bad?
ただしこれは世界戦闘力ではありません。勝率や強さではなく、単に勝利した数をもとに計上していくものです。遊べば遊ぶほど確実に高くなっていく。
Oh, this is going to get people addicted. I play a lot, but I'm a Class C.
ランクがあるものが一般的ですが、本作エアライダーでは色になっています。
Then everyone makes fun of you.
虹の7色です。
You know, it kind of reminds me in Overwatch, I had like maxed out prestige. And then people would be like, if they would see somebody with max out prestige that didn't hit diamond, and they would just, everyone would pile on them. And then that person would no longer want to communicate. And then the lack of communication in the game would cause them to lose. At least when you're not communicating in a game like this, you're not communicating by yourself. You're not, it doesn't require communication for you to succeed. But did they add a feature that allows you in Mario Kart World to do the knockout tour online with a friend? Then you could team up against people. I think they might have added that. I'd have to double check.
これはランクの上下というよりも、ご自身が楽しく遊べるためのちょうどよくする色分けだと思ってください。
I don't think I can make my me my donkey logo. It has to be like preset stuff, not stuff that you made. Unfortunate. That's why I have Mario kind of like propped up against a car, because you're only able to have the options they give you. Wind power is the social credit score in China. Now, he's not going crazy fast. That's casual. Any idea what we're getting in that demo? Because if the demo, like if some days are just top down and then some of it is the 3D, that could be pretty cool. I'm sure most of these are going to kind of relate to Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Like maybe... Okay, it's a mystery. Most of the tracks will have something to do with an area or a zone Kirby's been in before, right?
前作で曲を楽しんだ方もおられると思います。
My red hoodie thing with the yellow, I don't think that you can. I think that when you make a me, you have to use their stuff. I don't think you can throw a hoodie and put a yellow shirt on. We're not sure what the demo holds yet, huh?
できますけど。あっさり白状しましたけど。
Hold on, actually you can what? Right, here's where I was blabbing about top-down mode for the demo. And then I said everything's probably going to relate to something in a Kirby game before, you know, kind of like how you do with Mario Kart World. And then the mystery. Man, you do not get to rewind just a little. It's like, go back a minute. He said, now actually you can. That's what I was curious. What was he talking about there? Imagine some of you enjoyed the music from the previous game. Sky Sands. So, do we get to enjoy those songs this time around? Actually, you can. And he acted like that was like some big major spoiler thing. I mean, I don't know if that was that big of a deal. You know, it's kind of like, oh, look, it's a Castlevania game and you got bloody tears again. Like, there'd be a riot if you didn't, right? Yeah, the air ride course is from the previous game. Oh, so you got... So the air ride... This game is going to have the new game's mechanics with all the previous courses. Is that DLC? Stream Path, Gentle Breeze, Lush Green. Dude, this looks too intense. Like, I almost can't see where I'm going. Like, I need that camera to drift back just a little bit further. Damn. The tube slide from hell on ice. The music is almost too damn cheery for me. Like, this looks intense, and it's like, do-do-do-do-do. No DLC, you get everything, huh? Intriguing. Now we got some of that 90s happening here. Oh, geez, this... Yeah, I played the demo for Cross Worlds, and yeah, I wasn't really feeling it, because it was like, look, me and Shopkeeper kept trying to get some of the zones to pop up, but it doesn't really matter, because you don't stay in them. You end up on other courses anyway, as you swap during the race, so it's almost irrelevant what you pick. Yeah, it's faster. 6 seconds, that's a difference. You know, okay, hold on. Speed creep. Like, cars going around the Nürburgring in 2003 compared to 2025 is like the Red Baron versus an F-14. It's like every minivan is like dusting, you know, like a GTR or something, or whatever the hell Japan was making in 2000 easily. So I guess over time, your racing game kind of has to keep pace with the technology in that regard, right? Like Kirby has gotten faster star to hop on since then, right? Atticus says he likes them to have a little bit of visible polygons, otherwise it's like a Pixar movie. I don't see any problem with that, with it being rounded. Speaking of the very, you know, Pixar movie type stuff, have you seen the Dragon, I keep wanting to say Dragon Ball, it's like Dragon Quest VI remaster thing that's coming around? or maybe it's early next year or something. But if it looks like that in game on the Switch too, that'll be pretty amazing. Yeah, of course the graphics received an upgrade. That's, I mean, you're not going to confuse it for the old game. Oh, you're going to have to earn those courses, huh? Or are they going to be in updates? Swap replay. マシンを周回数分、つまり複数台選んでスタート。一周走るとマシンが早変わりします。You swap machines during the race. 様々なマシンを駆使するレース。定番定石以外の組み合わせもお楽しみください。本当に複数人でリレーしてしまうのも。Hold on. You have a freaking announcer? And you can't get that in Mario Kart? Or, God forbid, well, we can't have an announcer in Mario Kart. Okay, then have an announcer in Drag Drive, a new property. Right? But, oh, Kirby can get an announcer. Okay. City Trial. Now this looked like you were kind of floating around roaming. Might not be able to race in this mode. Maybe it's a time trial thing? No, it says Rivals. Is this an open world park? You know, I probably didn't do myself any favors not watching the first Direct. I may have to watch that after this to kind of get my bearings. This city trial kind of looks like where you're going to battle, too. Maybe city trial is Japanese for open world. No, okay, you say there are things in Pixar that they do try to get too photorealistic with, and then it doesn't match the character design. But know this, the way characters move in a Pixar movie, they do a lot of like, huh? That like they have to like load up their body to like move their head. You'll notice it after a while. And I think I just broke my neck. It just snapped or something. I'm too old to Pixar. City Trials is like sandbox area. Yeah, it looks like that's where you're doing a lot of like exploring and murderizing from the look of it. I hope you can talk to people when you're doing it. You know, not just people on your friend list, but, you know, make friends playing a video game. Imagine the concept. There may honestly be more going on in this game than I anticipated. I kind of just thought we have a kart racer already. So then what else? I mean, what are you just racing with different characters? Or, okay, so this one's a little faster, more F-Zero replacement. But it looks like there's a lot else happening here that isn't happening in Mario. 攻撃アイテムが入った緑コンテナ。コピーの元が入った赤コンテナがあります。そして There's going to be a lot of power-ups to try to have to keep track of. Like, what does this one do? Oh, it blows you up. 番外編としてどこかで見た人がいます。Familiar face, maybe not that familiar to me. Yeah, this part definitely looks like this is Nintendo Twisted Metal. Surprisingly a dead genre. The vehicle combat thing. You'd kind of think that there were... It's like, you know, everything had to become a Grand Theft Auto clone. Everything had to become like an open world game. And then they left so many other genres behind. We have a Twisted Metal show on Peacock, and we don't have a new Twisted Metal, right? Dragoon. That Panzer Dragoon saga, man. That is the legendary game of the Saturn. Now that looks a bit aggressive. Legendary machines, huh? So do you have like temporary access to those? Like it's a power-up? Damn. Going up and comboing people with your vehicle? The parts combine and you build it. Okay, that's kind of cracked. Hold on. And I can't capture the video, thanks. Vehicular. It's a vehicle there. My name's Chad. Teams, I like teams. Ooh, that's a lot of... We're getting like a 16-man fight. Are they also going to say that there's a battle royale with the mode and the storm coming and you have to do all that Fortnite stuff?
スタジアムは8人までの入場ですから、10人以上で戦う場合、2つのスタジアムに分かれて総合得点で決着をつけます。
So there's a tournament among the teams.
それぞれのメンバーが普通に4つのスタジアムから選ぶようにすると、
Alright, there might be, we might actually have too many game modes.
談合ができるので、ここは公平に。ところで、チーム戦とは関係ないのですが、スカイアには空中庭園とは別に島が遠くに開催することがあります。飛行マシンや飛行に有利な能力を使えばなんとか届くかもしれません。
Try to get to the Skya.
一つのチャレンジ要素です。
No, he's falling. Or Skya, the land, all the place. Building interiors? That's like a novel thought. Obviously, this is going to have to run at least 60, right? But what if it could do 1080p 120 handheld? What if? Or 720 with a 120 hertz. Nuclear or nuclear? I think I say nuclear. Remember, hold on. Remember in the one of the two 90s cartoons for Sonic the Hedgehog, I think Robotnik talked about his missiles, right? Instead of missiles. I think it was Robotnik that did that. Yeah. All right, so we got Duo causing problems. And these are just new characters? He's a copycat, huh? Or maybe a mouse. There's more coming, but we're not going to tell you. Well, here's some more, but there's going to be even more. Small size, but super sturdy. What? Hold up. We just went with a different art style for the hamster. He's got Kirby's shoes and or feet. Yeah, no, I had thought, why play a Kirby game if you're not going to play as Kirby? Like, that's kind of the problem. But maybe You know, maybe some of this could be appealing. Yeah.
マシンの
Transform
中でも
star.
特に変わり種を説明しておきます。その名も変身スター。滑空ができるスター型と走行有利なバイク型。それを合わせてみたら
Kind of like how the go-karts change in Mario Kart, huh? Ah, now that's different.
つまりいわゆるレバガチャでスター型とバイク型を切り替えられます。何よりかっこよし。
You don't get to transform into a bike. You know, you kind on Mario Kart, you kind of, oh, you're in the water, now you have a watercraft, right? Oh, now now you have a hang glider for a minute. Might actually serve some advantage to go into that bike form. Gotta jump, man. This guy's like, I'm too fast to jump. How Kirby is driving any of this, I don't know. Doesn't he need to wrap his head around a vehicle to drive it? Which I think could have been a really cool Halloween costume if you had like a Kirby stretched over you. You know, like maybe torso, and then you had the Kirby eyes, okay? But then it looked like it just ate you. And then the Kirby's kind of like puppeting you. That could be fun. Or scary. Unknown life forms. Good way to describe that. The machines have a personality.
今回の声の主役は場内に流れるアナウンスです。場内。Launch! 3, 2, 1, start! Wheelie scooter, finish! といった感じです。各国各言語でアナウンスの声が。
So wait, the machines affect the announcer?
女性声がありますので、お好みで選んでください。なお、日本版の男性声優は銀河番長さん。
Is that the guy's name? Banjo Gingo? Poor guy.
カービーゆかりの声優さんですね。ゲームを彩ってくれます。
I kind of like the female voice, the female Japanese voice.
コピー能力の読み上げはカービー自身が喋ると変なので今までなかったのですが、アナウンスならいいアクセントになります。
Oh, it's going to be reading a lot of stuff out loud to you. However, okay, so you think the Japanese girl voice is cute, but you're not exactly signing up for Rosetta Stone here. You're going to, I mean, maybe that'd help you understand some Japanese, but if you don't know what the ability is and it's being called something Japanese and you know, oh, it's the sticky dice or the ice shoes or something, or the fire brake pad. You probably want to know that when you pick it up, you know, early on, until you know everything, you know, until you have your 8,000 hours in the game. Announcer collection. That's the wild part. All the announcing over at Nintendo went into Kirby, and they couldn't spare any of it for Drag Drive. Did Kirby Air Ride have announcers? The voice that plays Kirby in the anime. There's a Kirby anime? I'm not aware of that. And if it's from like the 90s and it's hand-drawn, I'm going to have to get that on Blu-ray. Yeah, they've got that's a time trial mode there. But I wonder if you get a ghost to try to follow. Yeah. I think that's what you got right in front of you. from your best run.
マシンには大きな個性がありますが、それぞれのマシンで同じようなラップでクリアできるような調整をしていません。バトルや
And you can use any machine you want in that mode. They're all the same. Nice. Instead of it forcing you to, oh, everybody has. That's the problem Mario Kart World's got right now. It's like, oh shit, here comes the guy with the baby booper. Is it booper or blooper? Yeah, I think it's blooper, right? It has 100 episodes. I might have to look that up. It would seem Kirby has some kind of popularity run, you know. I'm not saying at the level of Sonic, but you know, in a regional way, Kirby could be popular enough to float some additional media. You know, like maybe there's a Kirby manga, right? Call machine. Oh, you have a few different stars there. Alright, going into battle. This may be the last time you see me, kids. Still looking like this. I could come back burnt orange. Can you change the color of your Kirby, or if you're Kirby, are you just gonna be pink? Can you be like retro OG Kirby with the small eyes and white? Whoa! It's manga. I had a Japanese film instructor that was quite the hard ass. And also he did the localization for Squaresoft when Final Fantasy VII and a couple of other games at the time. So my film professor was responsible for Aerith instead of Aerith. No, Kirby's created by the guy in this presentation. Created by the guy in the presentation. So what he says goes, huh? So he is the Shigeru Miyamoto to Mario for Kirby, huh? So does that mean he drew Kirby and then he refined his style? Kind of like how The Simpsons got better looking? UFOs everywhere. I hope that you have enough people online playing all these different modes to find a game, because you end up with that problem and stuff where it's like, oh, we have to take modes away so that people can find a game faster, right? Battle on the battleship. Several stadiums, huh? Yeah, active instead of passive stadiums. Who wants passive stadiums? Hold on, drag race looks like drag drive. Now you need a mode that uses dual mouse mode to piss people off. Just be like, we gotta have more mode. Look at all these. I'm just so like overwhelmed by like the game types. I challenge you to a high jump contest. Yeah, my imaginary Japanese girlfriend taught me how to pronounce manga. No, I remember that Maybelline had a commercial where they like These eyelashes are positively manga. And I'm like, oh, you're saying it wrong. Rail Panic. That sounds like an anime about being a conductor on a train, you know? I have to choose what hot girls to let on the train. Oh, I just came up with like the best anime of 2028. Bots. Yeah, you may need some bots to fill. And since it's not like a, oh man, my team has a bot, we're screwed, it's probably fine, you know, you're racing against, instead of relying upon a bot. Tough fights with, so you had fights in the old game. I mean, look at all the stuff he's covering here, and you already had a direct one, and what was it, an hour? There might be, it might take someone like 3 hours to review this game. Then there's this mode, and then there's it, and then button this mode, and now. Of course, penguins become cars. Why would? Oh. Okay, so you team up against this guy. Come to think of it, why doesn't Vaughn have a girlfriend? I keep it too real. I mean, at my age, all the girls, you're playing somebody else's save game at this point. You can assume that they have a kid from some minority they hooked up with, that they thought that would be fun. And then they gravitate towards a white guy because they think white guys have jobs. So... Dude, it's like some kind of raid boss over here. Yeah, hey guys, we're gonna go raid Mecha DD. You coming? Checklist. Good luck managing this. That's gonna take you 5 years. Oh man, if they had achievements in this, people could get. Oh, I've got to get all. How am I gonna get the achievements in this? Okay, so why space next to them? Like, are you working on that one on the left and the right? Up and down? I can't get over that hamster having, like, you know, a totally different art style with the fur. I guess the other creatures just don't have fur, right? I mean, how many Kirby villains are there? You got the tree, you have a few other things happening. Oh man, gonna have to call Mila Jovovich to get through the damn lasers, right? Dude, get out of the damn lava, shit. I'm not playing as that blue guy. That is too whacked. That kind of nightmare fuel. Alright, you got a Super Saiyan there, I see. Now the hamster is running like Sonic.
じライダーを複数入手できることがありますが、これは2人目以降でカラーバリエーションを増やしてください。
Different colors. Okay, different color for Kirby. What's it?
複数手に入ります。同じマシンがあってどうするのかというと、デコレーションできるんですね。デコレーションは名付けて俺マシン。
You have such limited decoration ability for customizing your Mario Kart stuff, you know? Put the sticker on it that no one can see. This stands out. That carbon fiber spoiler, yeah. I'm not saying any of these are practical, but, you know. Multipass. Lilu, you know what bothers me about that movie? Feels like it takes forever for that spaceship to get off the ground, doesn't it? It's just like, okay, now we got to go through a whole process. Now, hold on, I got to go get the tickets again. No, wait, that's not him. I'm the real guy. All right, let's prep the thing so that Ash from Alien can get on board. Oh, wow, you have a lot of customization, or as my Chinese roommate in college called it, customerized.
個性あふれる俺マシンを作ってください。そして少し変わった要素ですが、オンラインに俺マシン市場というものがあります。
Wait, can you sell your designs for cash? Are we going to have like an Etsy shop market for this? From other players, but do they get anything?
これは相場があって、売れれば売れるほど値上がりしていきます。誰かがデザインしたということは出品もできるということになりますね。
Okay, what determines the price of somebody's machine? And I mean, you could design it yourself. You have all the access to all the tools they do.
反面、売れてもお金が儲かるわけではありませんが、値段の変動は面白いですね。
It's fun to see the plot price fluctuate. Sounds like Bill Gates messing with society.
そんな願いにお応えして、ライダーの帽子も用意しました。
Headwear. You should probably should be advocating for a helmet here. Crown. See, I could see you having the crown if you're in first place. That's the way it works in Mario. Does he look like a Japanese Michael Jackson? I'm not quite seeing it. Oh yeah, sunglasses. Floral pins so you can trick people online into thinking you're a girl. Yep. I see that working. Okay, so if you unlock like the crown, you can put it on all your guys. That's fine. You know what pissed me off? Last I played Overwatch, they were doing like these special colors for weapons. And it was like, okay, get this gold tint, whatever, or something like this, right? Yeah, there was like the mythic skin had like a new purple galaxy, whatever. And then it would be like, no, that's for that one character. You have to pay money. And you don't get to use this color across all of your 30 heroes. Just the one you paid for it for. Yeah, fun.
それも味ということで。なお、コピー能力の帽子をかぶるとそちらが優先されます。コピー能力はすぐになくなっちゃいますしね。
You know, did Overwatch get more aggressive? Was Overwatch 2 not even out by the time Microsoft started the whole acquiring of Activision? Thus triggering how much they schemed everything. Once Microsoft got them. once Microsoft acquired Activision, then it's like now we got to find a way to cheapen out and make Overwatch horrible. All right, we're calling some currency miles. And I'm guessing that's what you can buy and sell your designs with. All right, you guys got me convinced. There's a lot more going on in this game than I thought. Ah, but if you're a child, you may need to ask your mom for some miles for Christmas. My birthday's coming up, and I'm going to get some miles for my Kirby Air Riders, and then I'm going to have a blue star, and then it's going to turn green. Gummies? Non-online players can also earn gummies. Okay, so what else? You just they accumulate and you can mess with them. But I don't think you trade them in for anything. Birthday, December 29. One day before LeBrick. And Dizelle. And Tiger Woods. But hey, it's me, Mary Tyler Moore, John Voight, Allison Brie, Miles Garrett, Ted Danson, and the guy that didn't get killed because he co-wrote Alien Covenant. What's his name? I forgot his name. Ooh, he's a serious composer. He's got the stick. Do those composers run around and go, people have to know I'm a real maestro. I need a carbon fiber wand, right? Like, it has to be specific. You know, if there's too much, like, air resistance when I wave over here, the guy hitting a triangle is going to be, like, half a second off, and we're going to miss the whole beat. Right? Kid Icarus, man, I don't think I've ever played a Kid Icarus. Customize your tracks. Look how low the guy sets all the music. Jude Law, yes, forgot him. Oh, also the okay, so here, side note on the birthday stuff. Remember Don't Breathe, right? The main chick in Don't Breathe and the kid that went into the house with her both have the same birthday, which is also my birthday. Which is just kind of weird to think that they have like co-shared birthdays among like the you know, in a sort of horror movie or something of the like, right? Just seems kind of weird to me.
任天堂ミュージックにも新たに曲を追加しましたのでお楽しみください。
I have the Nintendo Music app. I've never used it. Maybe that would be something nice to listen to when you're trying to fall asleep. I usually try to listen to like a podcast. Though sometimes I've done like the relaxation soundtrack on. You know what? Okay, so now they got this thing on Spotify where it's like, if you watch this 3-minute commercial from Apple, you know, about some show that they've made to get credit because they won an Emmy or something, that you watch that commercial, then you get 30 minutes of uninterrupted music. What if you're trying to do the go to sleep soundtrack playlist on Spotify? And then you listen to like the waves crash and the Yanni music and the new age, and then you go to sleep and it's like, yeah. Now at Taco Bell, go back to the 90s with this 90s offer on some Cheeserito. And it's like, you know, they maybe should implement that, like, and consider what they're doing, right? You share yours with Ridley Scott, Billy Drago, who I don't think most people are aware of, but could kind of recognize, which might be because he's a villain in a Michael Jackson video. Might be why you've got Michael Jackson on your mind. Alasia Cuthbert. Hadn't seen of her in a while. Ben Stiller, everybody knows about him. Winston Churchill, never heard of her. The F-Zero X soundtrack on the Nintendo Music app is perfect for workouts. I'm gonna have to screenshot that, keep that in mind. Maybe I should use the Nintendo music for workouts. I was working out to, when I last had a gym membership, 2017, I was working out to Bloody Tears and Vampire Killer from Rondo of Blood. Dude, the menu could be so hectic here, like so dense. Okay, how do I hold on, my friend's in the what lobby, right? Hold on, you sent me an invite? Where? No, like... Well, they're trying to prove that this is different than Mario Kart. So they got like this like Forza menu of customization. You can't just fly during the races, can you? You just fly up if you want. Personalized settings need a name. Oh man, it's like, hey, you better be using a pro controller if you want to win. One-handed. Now that could be a stream. I ran across some YouTube channel talking about making fun of the current NBA, and it was funny because the guy was talking like these kids, like, so then LeBron James, he goes and he sits down, and then all the young kids, they think that they need to sit out the games, and then you know what happened? They had a collective bargaining agreement, and then and it's like, oh my god! And then the worst part of it is the guy has like 500,000 subs, and it's just like, what am I doing? Like you just got to be stupid to win anymore, don't you? Man, there's gonna be a lot happening in this game. Oh, whoa, hold on. Is he going to get to like resolution and maybe color filters? Surely that's just for photo mode. Visual effects.
画面酔い対策にも力を入れています。
We're gonna play Air Riders with just
画
one
面が
hand?
揺れていない印象を醸し出すため、邪魔なものをいっぱい表示したりとか、画角を変えられたりとか。
What the shit is he even talking about now?
合うものを探してみてください。
I generally leave the shake on and the stuff like that.
なお、一つ一つセットするのが面倒な方は、
I feel like if you take all that stuff off, it feels like a 90s computer game. Like, oh, now you're playing Doom. Right? Like, you know, or something's off, you know? It doesn't seem as natural. If you can change the filters to change the color of the track and not just photo mode, that could be something. Essentially customize the color and like the tone of the track, right? Alright, so we got a couple of amiibos coming.
これスマブラカービィのアミーボですが、エアライダーのアミーボはこれ
No normal base.
サイズが違いますね。こっちにバンダナは
Do you want a huge amiibo?
カービィもあるんですけど、そしてこのよう
I
に
don't know.
ライダーを乗せ替えられてしまう。マグネット
Okay, does that do it? Is there a reason to do that? They have
マシン
magnets.
とライダーの組み合わせが
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Look at the look at the
マシン
mouth.
とライダーの
Am I wrong, or is that mouth like cut out? This isn't rewinding very well. Shoot.
操作でも
Oh my
邪魔な
god.
ものをいっぱい
It looks like Kirby's mouth actually is cut out, but maybe it's not on the old amiibo. And not just like painted on.
エアライダー
Do you see what I'm saying there? Like maybe the old one, it looks like there's an actual shadow there for the new one's mouth, and that the old one, they essentially have a sticker application of some kind.
のアミーボ
Keep an
は
eye on the mouth on the new one. That
でかい。
that looks like a shadow,
サイズが違いますね。
but maybe it isn't.
こっちにバンダナワドルディも出しちゃいますけど、
Well,
カービィもあるんですけど、
that,
そしてこのように
maybe I'm overthinking
乗せ
it.
替えられてしまう。マグネットでがっちりです。マシンとライダーの組み合
All
わ
right,
せ
so
が
this gives
ゲー
your
ム中に登場
kid
し、
something else they
フ
can
ィギュア
lose
プ
at
レイヤー
school.
として走りを学ばせることができます。ライダーが育ちます。マシンではないのです
The
ね。
rider gets experience, not the machine. What?
なお、トップメニューにいた瀬戸物のカービィもアミーボを読み込ませると切り替えることができます。もちろんマシンとライダーは読み込んだセットにできます。しかしこんなに豪華な仕様だとあんまり種類は作れないだろうななんて思うところも
Now that is huge.
あるのですが、
Are these like $60 amiibos? Amiibo is Japanese for, you know, birthday present money. Now, okay, realistically, I know people are like flipping out over amiibo prices. Okay, I get you. But have you seen the bullshit price some of these resin statues? Like resin statue Mega Man, or you can get the amiibo, which is going to also look like Mega Man and also made of plastic, right? Except not $300. You know, like if you need to get some statues, at least they aren't Funko Pops, right? At least they look like what they're supposed to be. You can't, oh, that doesn't look like Meta Knight. You know, if it was the Funko Pop of Meta Knight, you could make such a claim, right? So $50 amiibos for all of them, or just the Giga Chad amiibo he was showing off at the end there? Like, is the Kirby on the star $50? Cause they probably don't have the balls to announce a price on this direct because it could fluctuate. And by fluctuate, I mean go up by the time the game releases, right? Or are those amiibos in store now? Oh, man. I mean, it is kind of hard to justify. It doesn't seem like they do a lot. It changes what it looks like in the menu. In a way, because it is like an online multiplayer competitive, you don't really want like some kind of weird competitive edge to the people that dropped money on amiibos. Now, if you were Microsoft, you would want that, right? So now that's like a $50 amiibo. That's huge. That's if that's 50, like the big guys. What is that, Patrick from SpongeBob? I really want my menu to have these 2 different features. Each amiibo is $50. Oh boy.
なおタンクスタープッシュすると形態が変わるんですが付け替えて楽しむこともできます。これが設置形態。
What?
こうしてこうすると
I don't think you have time to do this during a race, buddy.
これが滑走形態。ホバーで走るんですね。
Okay, so it doesn't transform when you move the thing in the game. Okay. Punko Fops. Flops. Hey, they may be kind of dust collectors, but I do like the fact that you can use them between different games. The effort will be put into trying to do Tears of the Kingdom in the throwback OG costume. That is the plan. I have the amiibo for it. I hope we can pull it off. Because I kept, you know, turns out when Link doesn't wear pants, he freezes to death. So, but you're gonna play it on hard mode that way. Chef Kawasaki. I don't think I've seen him. Maybe I came across him in Forgotten Land. I don't recall. Yeah, you scan them in different games and they give you like perks for the characters or something. So they carry over to different games. Like in Donkey Kong, every amiibo can give you a block to throw that's like an explosive. Or you get, oh God, where's she at? Have her up on here. You get Pauline with the diva dress. That was very nice of him to have Jack Black narrate the end of that. Toward the unknown. No, they're going toward the menu system. They're going to be like knee deep in menus. Jeez, that looks pretty intense. Taken off. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that much of the game is going to actually look like some of these cutscenes. Like, you're not getting dirt like that. If you had dirt, man, if you had dirt like that, first of all, you probably need a PS5. This is inorganic. What? What are we talking about now? Okay, also, there is a meteor that has been here for eons. Like, what? He's like, you know how that one video Kirby looks like he's struggling with the star? Well, there's also a meteor that landed. You might have to go look at that. Like, all right.
私のチャンネルと地続きでの制作となりましたが、前作費10倍以上の工数がかかってると思います。今時のゲームを作り、形にするにはびっくりするほど労力がかかる。
Okay, now he's plugging his YouTube channel. I've never seen this type of thing done in this
今回
space.
このゲー
But
ムを制
okay.
作することになったのはやはりファンの熱い声援が大きかったのだろうと思います。ゲームを作るのには時間もコストもかかりますから。
You know, at some point, Nintendo's going to realize that they can also sneak some ads in to these and be like, but first, let me tell you about NordVPN.
本作を作り得たことも感謝しております。なお DLC の販売は予定していま
We're
せん。
not planning any
これは全て
DLC.
です。
Everything is here.
シリーズを重ねるつもり
Well,
もあり
look,
ません。
okay,
最初から
DLC,
本作は全力投入のつもりです。
everyone assumes is paid DLC at this point, but DLC could be free, you know, additional content. Hold on. He's a day one update? What? Okay, we're trying to rewind. We can rewind better than that. Come on. Some of the things I've covered, shoot. You have to spend time and money to make games, so those wishes aren't always granted. And that, thanks to that support and efforts of great many people, we were able to make this game a reality. Just so you know, we're not planning any DLC. Everything is here. Also, not planning on making this an ongoing series. I've thrown everything I have into this game from the start. Mixed. Some of the things I covered today will be implemented via a day one update. That's tricky because it's kind of like if you don't make the game ongoing, you will have falling off of the player base. People will move on to a new game. And that was the way games worked when they shipped a game completed and you beat it or whatever, or you spent 6 months killing your friends in lockout, then you moved on to the next game that came. And now they just kind of make Fortnite and then they keep updating it so they don't have to make a new Fortnite. So, I mean, and there is a beauty to the old way things are done. But with the kids, man, you're going to end up with a bunch of hard asses left after 3 months of this, and it's going to be pretty hard to win a battle or a race or whatever it is activity you're doing, because it's going to be like a bunch of ultimate mofos left, like any fighting game kind of ends up, right? Where you can jump on Street Fighter 6 right now and try not to die, right? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that kind of pans out. If there could potentially be enough modes, and if it's the only way to make friends online on the Switch 2, it remains to be seen, you know. We will have a day one update, but after that, we're abandoning the project because everything's already finished. Now, the problem with saying that the game's finished is all the naysayers get to talk about how it died, right? It just came out Tuesday and it's already dead. Because there's no planned updates. Oh my god, you released a new game and you don't have any updates? Right? Oh, surely everybody gathers and dances, right? Because we gotta dance. Okay. Not really sure what's happening. That looks like a cat face. Kind of like Garfield. See, that looks to me like a teaser, like coming up. See, these online games anymore, you have to. Okay, hold on, whoa, Joe. November 8th at freakishly in the morning. And then later in the afternoon. Okay, all right. So, man. I'm going to have to try to remember some of those times there. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to do like a stream. It's eight. That 4 to 8, 4 to 10 on the 8th looks pretty appealing. But if I waited and did the 15th, waited till after Tears of the Kingdom concluded or something, then they'll be like, why would I watch him play now? It's old news. Hey, we got Kirby Expert here. Anything fly over your head in this direct? I can clarify if needed. Quite a bit. There was a lot happening there. Pretty much at the end, aren't we? That it looked to me like they were teasing some new big bad. Like okay, look, if you had seasonal content, like look, oh, it's summer 2026, everybody gets swimming trunks. Like that gives somebody a reason to come back and visit the game. Even just the other day I got onto Street Fighter 6 and it was like new portraits for your select the fighter mode. There's a lot of abilities like that. I picked up the what and it does what, I didn't recognize a number of the characters. I played Forgotten Land, thought it was really good, but I don't have a heap of experience with Kirby, just the OG from like 92 on Game Boy and Forgotten Land that I streamed through, a couple months back. And now kind of on the fence about Air Riders, but that was a pretty appealing direct. And it showed me that it looks like it's more than just Mario Kart with Kirby, with more of an F-Zero or Wipeout control scheme. It's definitely a lot more happening here. I'm just a little concerned that, people could move on because there's not that drip feed of updates that people demand and stuff. So what else are we saying here? Air Rider sounds like a brand of sneakers, kind of. Yeah, I think we have a few Kirby experts in the chat. This was an old big bad. That was an old big bad. Basically, people assuming that's tied to the game's story mode. It seems to me like that Garfield spaceship comes into play. Maybe at the end of one of these modes, that's a boss. But I've been with Xbox since 2003, and I've come over to Nintendo in recent months, and it seems like the way Microsoft would tease that, it'd be like, now that's the DLC being teased. That's the way I would interpret that. The big bad at the end of the trailer was an old villain. Yeah, okay. Air ride mode, Mario Kart. I see that. Now the top ride mode was pretty cool. I hadn't seen that. What's related channels Kirby Air Riders? I don't know what that is. Follow channel. Here's your information. So this is like your news feed stuff. Okay. The graphics, now you wouldn't get this confused with the original game, which I also haven't played. But hold on, let's see what this guy says here. Are you ready? Get set. Anything goes. They seem to be taking a lot of pride in their announcer options, which is pretty wild. Top ride looked pretty cool. And then you have a battle, like you have just a heap of modes. I wish that they had gotten into detail about tech specs. Because having an optional 120 hertz. So we do have HDR. That's nice. Unfortunately, I can't stream in HDR. But, I mean, I would like to see 120 hertz. Even if it's 720p, 120 hertz as an option for on the go would be pretty cool. 25 gigabyte. Oh, that's a chunky game from Nintendo. In essence, isn't it? Yeah, I see some Twisted Metal here, which is nice because we don't get those games anymore. Everything became, well, we have Grand Theft Auto at home, right? Yeah, I thought it would be a little bit more like F-Zero meets Mario Kart, swap out the mascot. Comparatively, if we compared this kind of to Crossworlds, I don't think Crossworlds has nearly the content. And like I've said with Crossworlds, you kind of it's irrelevant what course you pick because it gets changed during the race. So, it just kind of feels like once you've played a little bit of it, you've played all of it that you need. I see some Mario Party in there also. So City Trial 5 minutes, 2 to 16 player free for all in big city map. He mentioned City Trial as if that was Japanese for open world. It's kind of like the way I was imagining that. Now maybe that's the City Trial course and you kind of bounce between things like But I'm surprised I don't see a lot of like copying Mario Kart's homework. Like, it's not like, oh, we also have a knockout tour, right? Which knockout tour is pretty badass. But it doesn't mean everybody else needs to copy it. I like the team battles where, what was it, like 8-on-8? That looks pretty cool. Yeah, some kind of game show. I don't even think he covered that. I'm not feeling Sonic Cross Worlds. And most of those cars hardly steered, it seemed like. Yeah, but I'm going to have to get through the demo of this in order to really sell me on it. It wasn't necessarily something that I put down for like a must pick up. The next must pick up for me is going to be Metroid, which, shoot, they probably don't actually have on. Would it kill them to put a sell on a game that's like, 5 years old or something? Like, you can't beat Metroid Dread for anything at a decent price. But what else do we have coming here? Are they still doing the Halloween stuff? I downloaded this demo for reasons with Nintendo Switch. I see, now I'm trying to think what even Road Trip is. Maybe I'm getting Road Trip and City Trial kind of confused because they both sound so different in a way. Oh, we still got the limited time Halloween stuff. But yeah, that was kind of cracked. It showed me a lot that I didn't really expect to be in the game. Let's see if we go back to the news feed and find it. I know there's a Drag Drive update. That's, kind of considerate. I'm probably going to have to watch this first direct because he's like, we already covered all this stuff. I'm like, well, okay, now I'm confused. Game comes out on the 20th. Well, Kiata, I am actually starting Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow. And we're probably looking at 3 to 5 hour type streams for that. And I'm wondering, I'm trying to get that finished before Thanksgiving. If I get really lucky before, getting interrupted by Kirby demo. I don't know if I can do it or not. What else we get saying here? Road Trip looks awesome. Rogue Light Smash Classic. So Road Trip is where you're battling? No. City Trial is the battle. But then you also do some fighting and story stuff in Road. Okay. Yeah, I saw things where it was like boss fights where like groups of people were gaining up, but probably the like understated, really appealing thing was the ability to like actually talk with people. Like you could like invite people to a voice chat. I don't know of any other game doing that on this platform, which sounds like a novel thought, but I mean, it's like, more, if you're on Xbox, it's something you expect to be able to talk to people. The first Kirby Air Rirders presentation is 45 minutes long and basically introduces you to the game and shows new content as well. I'll check that out sometime. We don't got to go into detail on the stream, but yeah. Kata 101, explain the versus boss. Is the versus boss road trip story mode stuff? Like where you're doing the raid boss? Because it was pretty cool looking how you could, hey guys, let's we're making a raid team, is what it kind of looked like. Okay, city trial and stadiums are tied together. You start in city trial, okay? And the winner is decided in stadiums. Okay, so that's where they were talking about the teams advance. The winning team advance, almost like we got a tournament thing happening, which is where you saw all those multiple modes. Those are stadiums. That includes the boss. Okay. I thought the boss would be in the story stuff. The road trip. And the top-down thing looked pretty cool. Not something you see on Mario Kart. But I think it's going to have to come down to how it controls for me if I'm going to sign off on buying it. $70 is pretty big ask. And, we don't have any updates. It's kind of, but I don't... the thing about the games that have like the battle pass mindset, you can only play so many games that you have to check in on all the damn time. Like like after Overwatch, I'm just like, I can't be getting into or even start Apex Legends, because then you're going to be like, oh, now I have to complete this and it never ends. So coming over to the Switch, it's kind of nice seeing games that you beat and then you're kind of done with, but maybe you have a few challenges you can kind of visit, right? The boss will be in story mode as well. Okay, so maybe you work on them in the story mode, but you can also call some friends to help you out. Or maybe you can have some friends with you in story mode. There's just a lot happening there. They got the paddock thing. Gather groups of up to 32 players in the paddock lobby where you can hang out, play matches, air ride, top ride, and more. I hope that you then are also offered the opportunity to quick match. Say if you want to do top ride, but your paddock doesn't want to do top ride, then, surely that, you have the illusion of a lobby, but you're still, matchmaking, right? I hope so. All right. Yeah, we're going to end here. Thanks for dropping by, Katya. Work calls, got to head out, but love seeing your perspective on the Direct. Would recommend watching the first one. I'll get to watching that. Yeah. It's just surprising how different the Nintendo game philosophy is compared to the way everything works over on Microsoft, where they're about acquiring IPs and making the same game with a different setting and characters. And that's about it, right? You're more excited for this game than Metroid Prime 4. I'm not I wouldn't say I'm crazy excited for Metroid Prime 4, but I've never played a Metroid Prime. It sounds like this is a good one to get in on. It's unfortunate that the Metroid Prime 1 remaster doesn't have a Switch 2 update. Somebody should be getting on that. I would pick that up if it had the Switch 2 update. But I really did enjoy some of the other Metroid stuff, and so I do find that appealing. It also looks like it's like the graphical showcase for Switch 2 Year 1 exclusives, and it offers the 4K. I think it has 120 hertz for the handheld mode, and just a lot of things that seem like could be pretty cool. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Thanks for the recommendation there, Nukem Nintendo. Katya dropping by, Atticus, Shopkeeper, and I'm gonna have to buckle down And, you know, Link is going to have to kick some ass in short shorts tomorrow, Monday. You made it this far? Wait until marriage counseling. Here I am. I thought that I muted my mic, and evidently I did.